Welcome back to another video. So in this video, I want to share my perspective on life is overrated, perspective on white supremacy, so-called white supremacy, right? I have a lot to say. I have a lot on my mind as always. I want to clarify some things. So let's get right into it. So basically, based off y'all looking at him, most of us would based off the world views that we've been programmed to go by, we would consider this person to be Caucasian, correct? You see what I'm saying? So when I first saw this title pop up on my notifications, I said, okay, he finna talk about. I already assumed that he finna talk about people think that he has white privilege based off his appearance to be a white person. You see what I'm saying? But that's, like I said, that's all a part of the construct that they created. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. This so-called white supremacy or white privilege, it isn't about the individual. White supremacy or white privilege is basically what the system as a whole is how can I say, umbrellaed under. You see what I'm saying? It's not about the individual. Just because some so-called white people work a 9 to 5 doesn't mean that white supremacy does not exist. We literally live a Eurocentric lifestyle, not just so-called white people or non-black people, but everybody now. Everybody lives a Eurocentric lifestyle, a westernized lifestyle, as they call it. I don't even know what westernized. I don't even know why they call it a westernized um um system in the first place. Cause they got a TV show called Westworld, and I wonder what's so why do they call it Westworld, or why do they call it? Why do they say that America is westernized? I don't get it. I have to figure out some I have to do some research on that. But anyway, I'm gonna let y'all hear some of his thoughts. I didn't finish this full video, but I wanted to clarify some things, based off my opinion. And like I say, as always, I like to share my perspective, because people gotta understand that I don't know everything. He doesn't know everything, and everybody else watching these videos don't know everything. So we should be putting the pieces together. But the problem is we're so divided to a point where we don't want to put the pieces together because of our appearance. Like I said, we must understand that these evil beings, and they are beyond so-called white people. The so-called white people, the so-called slave masters, the corporate people, they answer to somebody. They answer to somebody, and it's not the so-called white people. The so-called white people are just they just for show. They just to basically they're basically playing the mask. They're basically the mask for the actual enemy. You see what I'm saying? But it's levels to it. It's always levels to it. It's levels to knowledge. It's levels to everything. But yeah, like I said, just because you work a 9 to 5 doesn't mean that white privilege doesn't exist, and doesn't mean that other so-called white people do not abuse white privilege or white supremacy. You see what I'm saying? But all in all, it's still a program. It's all a program. So I wanted to, cause I already talked about this before on my video, on my page. Like I said before, they don't program us so much that we don't even. Cause I'm gonna just let y'all hear what he's saying, and then I'm gonna respond.
When I was in Peru, man, there was a lot of poverty. You've seen people come up and they were trying to wash their windows with newspapers, trying to sell oranges on the side of the road. people living in like really just run down conditions. I mean, probably lucky to even have drinking water.
You taught us how to fly, how to make the impossible.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like funny when these people come on here and try to talk about white privilege. When, you know, I've grown up and I've seen different people, whether they be Indian or Japanese or Chinese, and they were doing pretty good for themselves. And then there were white people I knew around me that they weren't really doing nothing all that out of the ordinary. They really weren't all that intelligent. They weren't very educated. They were American.
This is all because of the product of the environment. Product of the environment. You know, if you grow up in a certain environment that's not surrounded by intelligent people, 9 times out of 10 you're not gonna be as intelligent either. Simple as that. And yeah.
But I don't know. This white privilege is just strange and peculiar to me, you know. And growing up, you know, I had privileges, I would say, as far as like I got the advantage to leave the country. I had like a PlayStation, a computer, a phone. When I got my first cell phone, my first MacBook, they were hand-me-downs from, I hope you guys don't mind me saying this, but, you know, my father, who was not white, I'm sorry, he was Hispanic, Peruvian, non-American. I mean, he's an American citizen now, and he was back then too, but, you know, he's not white. You know, and sometimes, you know.
See, that's the confusion. He said, I guess he's saying that his father is Peruvian. See, the thing, I don't know what a Peruvian is, but 9 times out of 10, a Peruvian is a Caucasian. That's the thing. Like I said before, they done individualized us and renamed us, rehashed everything, making us think that we're not, how can I say, what we are to the core, I guess. So basically, it's like this. Jamaicans, you got Jamaicans, right? Jamaicans. You got Nigerians. You got Africans. What else? Haitians. You see what I'm saying? Those are so-called black people, but they call them Haitians, Nigerians. They try to split it up with different terms, but all in all, they're black. You see what I'm saying? Just like you got regular Caucasians, you got British people. You see what I'm saying? You got so many different types of so-called white people, but at the end of the day, they're white, they're Caucasian. People are forgetting the fact that we are all being genetically edited and genetically spliced. There are multiple races of people on this planet that have been genetically spliced. They got a movie called Splice, and they put it right in our face. How can we still be missing this? The truth is stranger than the lie. So if you just can't accept the truth, then you're gonna have some problems in the afterlife, I guess, when you end up being reincarnated. I guess. So yeah, people, they got us thinking that like Hispanics. Hold on, yeah, Hispanics are Spain. So Spaniards are basically Spanish, and Spanish people are Caucasians, but they just speak a different language, a different accent, a different tone, a different vibration. But all in all, to the core, they are Caucasian. As far as like Colossus and my homeboy that he put me onto this information, he said that basically you have the Orientals, which consist of the Asians, the Japanese, Koreans, all those people, right? You got the Orientals, you got the Caucasians, and you got the Arab people. those three races are set aside from the so-called black people. So I'm guessing it's really four groups of people on this planet. Three of them were genetically spliced. If I'm calculating that correctly. But yeah, you got the Orientals, the Caucasians, and then you, like I said, you even got Asian in the word Caucasian. Like I said, the so-called white people and the Asians, they mix together. And then you got Mexicans. Mexicans are Caucasians, but they, of course, they create I'm telling y'all, man, they got us good, man. We so stirred up to a point we don't even know nothing. A Mexican is a mix of another race. That's why they call it a Mexican. It's a mixture of some type of can, like, you know, like African, Mexican, mix, Puerto Rican. You see what I'm saying? They mix us up. And it's on a alchemical level. They mixed up on an alchemical level. You know, we breed with each other now. And like I told this guy, I said, see, back then, so-called back then, during so-called slavery, the worst part of slavery, I guess, where people were being beat and whipped and stuff like that, right? Physically, and raped, right? Back then it was forced. You were forced to be raped. They did all of they work back then. Now, today, it's consensual. Back then, you would have a so-called white person to rape a black person forcefully. Now, you see what I'm saying? Like, now, you see so-called black people and white people interested in each other. You see what I'm saying? See how they done changed the dynamic? And I'm not saying hate another race. I'm saying what they did. I'm just saying what they did. And like, you literally see it. Like, no, look at all of the new movies that they got coming out. It's always about a white man and a black woman, or a black woman. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, they did all of that to get us to this point, to where it's consensual now. Why? I don't know. I guess I have a lot of speculations, like extend their race, extend their lifetime. You see what I'm saying? The only way you can extend their lifetime is to keep the planet cool. You know, the clouds block the sun, so you can't get no sun. You see what I'm saying? Stay in these buildings. You know, even though none of that really helped. I mean, it helped for the most part because they still here. You know, but it was basically created for a cooling mechanism to keep, you see what I'm saying, like extend their lifestyle. And it's not to be bashful or nothing like that, but I'm just literally telling y'all this what they did. It was for a reason. It was strategically planned, and they outsmarted us. Simple as that. They literally outsmarted us, and now all of us are in this mess together. And like I said, this timeline was not supposed to be created. Not with the mindset that I have right now. This timeline was not supposed to be created, but it was created, and now I guess it just has to play on out, right? Because I'm not Doctor Strange. I can't turn back time. I can't undo rape. I can't undo consensual intercourse. You see what I'm saying? So this is, you know, but yeah. Like these the Arab people, they were created somehow, I don't know, based off what I've been hearing. They're just one of the three races or three species of people that were genetically spliced and modified and just popped up out of nowhere and started running everything. Clones. You see what I'm saying? So other than that, I really don't know. I just, pretty much just think on this stuff. I mean, either way, we still all under the same roof right now, and we still have not conquered. We still haven't even conquered our own selves, and we haven't conquered the external world as well. And what I mean by that is we haven't stood up to the system. Whether we so-called black, so-called white, so-called Mexican, Hispanic, nobody has stood up to the system. As far as I'm concerned, the system has outlived every person that tried to stand up to it. And that's what scares me. Well, not the most, but it scares me. The fact that even if you try to stand up to the system, which the system too big anyway, because you can't take on the whole system. But it just mind boggles me how the system has lasted longer than our lifespan, and our lifespan getting shorter and shorter, and nothing has too much changed for our betterment. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for right now. But yeah, like I say, we gotta remember, Spanish people, all these different terms that they creating, bro, all that stuff is the same. Spanish people, French people, they're all Caucasians, but they, even if they have different accents, still Caucasian. Jamaicans, Nigerians, Africans, the darkest of the darkest people, they the same. Black people. But the problem is, we don't know anymore. We don't know who we are anymore. The white people don't know their history. The black people don't know their history. And even if you do know your history or herstory, whatever you want to call it, whether you know your past or whatever, we still here. You see what I'm saying? We still here. And that's all I pretty much, that's all I pretty much know. Or should I say, think I know. Other than that, I'm just waiting on death. Because, what can you do? Just live, just wondering and, knowing stuff. That's all you could pretty much do. You can try to survive or whatever, but at the end of the day, you still gotta wait on death to come. And I ain't trying to be pessimistic. But again, before I end this video, like I say, white privilege is not for individuals. White privilege still exists. All of that stuff still exists. It's for the collective. It's for the collective. And it's always been about the collective. It's not about individuals. They didn't enslave us individually. Then they teamed up and they got our ass. They straight outsmarted us somehow. And now we up here trying to pick up the ball, fumbling to see what took place so we can fix what was broken. So yeah, that's all I have for now. About to head back in the house since I can't think of anything else. Appreciate y'all for listening and hearing my perspective out. Peace.